Hi, we're Ellie and David. Join us as we overland the Americas in Yak, our Land Rover Defender.
Yak's already taken us across Europe and Central Asia, but this expedition will be our biggest challenge yet.
We're overlanding from the southern tip of Argentina all the way to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Follow along as we experience all the extremes and beauty of a simple life on the road in our Pan-American adventure.
As we mentioned in the last video, we've had to ship to Mexico because we couldn't go to Panama because then after that Costa Rica and Nicaragua don't let right-hand drive vehicles in. So our route's a little bit convoluted. We are going south now for the first time in quite a long time. So we're going to go and do Belize and then Guatemala. So don't worry, that's not it for Mexico. There is a lot more to come, but we're just going to do these two countries first before coming back in.
The Mexican side of the border is all done. That was super easy. Didn't have to cancel our temporary import permit because we're coming back into the country and it's valid until October, something like that. So we're good. Let's hope the Belize side is just as easy.
The next interaction we have is going to be with someone who speaks English. We spent the last 6.5 months sort of struggling through with our limited Spanish, but it's going to be really nice to not have to struggle through and understand what people are saying or using Translate. We are now officially in Belize. Quite a few different costs, which we were expecting. Got the insurance as well, and the guy came and put the sticker on the inside of the windscreen. It's slightly wonky, and Ellie's slightly frustrated about it. But really excited. We're only here for a week, but really looking forward to just soaking it all in.
Crossing from Mexico into Belize was one of the starkest contrasts we've ever experienced whilst travelling. They may share a coastline, but the atmosphere of the two countries is strikingly different. Immediately, the architecture shifts and the streets are dotted with brightly coloured wooden houses, often on stilts, designed to keep cool and withstand the common threat of flooding and storm surges. Life moves at a slower pace here, shaped by diverse traditions, vibrant food and a strong sense of community. Belize is a small country with a huge cultural mix. English is the official language, but you'll also hear Creole, Spanish, Garifuna and Mayan dialects. What struck us the most though was the laid-back rhythm of daily life here and the easygoing warmth of the people we met.
Picture yourself lounging on the sandy shores of Belize, sipping on a refreshing rum cocktail.
We've driven about an hour to a town called Orange Walk, and we've stopped off in the town to get some food. So just pulled in, didn't really know what we wanted. There was a local guy next to us and he said the tacos are kind of what they're best known for, they're the best ones. But he said they're only small. I said, how many do you reckon we should get? He said, 15. And I was like, oh, what, for both of us? He was like, no, he reckons that I could see off 15 on my own. So we've ordered 15 to start with, see how we get on, and then we can order some more. But for 15 it's $5, which is about £1.80, which is peanuts. That's alright, isn't it?
I was a bit worried when the guy next to us recommended 15, but they're quite small. I think we can see those all. We've still got a bit of room, so we've got the burrito as well, and it's so good. It's the same chicken stuff, we've got like, I think it's cabbage. It's amazing, really tasty. We found a spot for tonight. It's just in this little park, just in the middle of the town. David's currently levelling out. Apparently there are crocodiles in this river. The evening routine to Belize.
We've come to Belize City and just bought our tickets for the Belize Express. We're going to Caye, which is an island just out to sea, about an hour out to sea. And tomorrow we're doing some snorkeling, which we're very excited for. Before we do that, we have got some rice and beans and fried fish. We are on the boat, and as you can probably tell, it's very warm.
It's blocking the sweat off my legs.
I drink a lot of Merlot.
So warm.
Once we'd docked, we popped into the snorkelling office, then walked around the island looking for somewhere cheap to stay for the night. The cheapest we could find was a basic room for the equivalent of about £35, which is £35 more than we'd usually spend, but not too bad for a one-off. This garlic snapper and curry snapper were absolutely amazing, the best meal we've had on the trip.
Yeah?
This is the man himself, the greatest, the legend of all time, Bert. Okay? Bert is a licensed captain and guide, and myself, Amado. I'm also a licensed captain and guide, so we'll be taking care of you guys for the rest of the morning.
Reef Friendly Tours does what it says on the tin. Eco tours which allow you to get up close with the incredible variety of marine life in the world's second largest barrier reef without damaging this precious ecosystem. There's a big problem in this area with companies allowing tourists to feed the wildlife in order to get a closer encounter, and anchoring directly onto the reef, which damages the coral. In an industry where environmental regulations aren't always enforced and some tour companies can be pretty irresponsible, these guys are passionate about reducing waste and preserving the reef. We'd highly recommend them if you ever find yourself in Belize. It felt kind of unnatural jumping straight into a load of sharks, but I just had to remind myself that these ones don't eat humans. It was so surreal being completely surrounded by the nurse sharks and immersed in their world as they just went about their business, unfazed by us. We were told that our last stop of the day would be in a more isolated part of the reef, where there were 3 specific areas we might be able to spot a manatee. It was right at the start of the season, so it was possible, but not super likely we'd see any. With the first 2 spots being no-shows, we didn't have high hopes, until we dropped anchor at the third and Amado spotted a shadow in the water about 20 metres away and told David to quickly jump in and follow at a distance to be our marker. I followed a few seconds behind and we managed to have the most ethereal few minutes, just the 2 of us, floating alongside one of the more bizarre and amazing creatures we've ever encountered. A really special experience for both of us.
We are back on the mainland, back with Yak. We always get slightly nervous when we leave Yak for any kind of extended period of time, or even just overnight, but no problems at all. Oh, hiya. But Yak is all fine. We are now going to go and find somewhere to eat and then somewhere to sleep because we are both very, very tired after today. And then tomorrow we're going to start heading into the south of the country. We found a spot to camp in the middle of this lagoon, sort of along a track that went through the middle. Dusty, a bit sandy, and then we heard thunder and lightning getting closer and closer to us. So I said, oh, we should probably get out, get in the Land Rover, just wait for it to blow over, and then it started kind of spitting, and we just had this sense that it was about to start chucking it down. And so I got the tent away as quickly as I could, and then we just started driving because around us the whole area was starting to flood. It was getting really muddy. We were worried that we'd either get stranded there or there might be flash floods. Absolutely chucking it down, as you can see. So we're looking for somewhere to shelter, maybe for the night. The tent still leaks quite badly, so we just can't sleep in it if it's like this. We've just had water just cascading off the side of the roof tent, pouring down the side of the window back there, which means our mattress is almost definitely wet. Last night was utterly bonkers. We drove around for about 45 minutes looking for shelter. I saw this mechanic's workshop, drove down and walked out and went and asked him sort of if there was anywhere around, because he actually had shelter himself, but all of the cars under it were on breeze blocks, so there was no way we were getting under. But he said about this garage that we've come to, we pulled up, it's all closed, it might be disused, I'm not entirely sure, but we just stayed here for the night. Opened up the tent quite nervously. Bottom bit was fine, but the bit by Ellie's head was absolutely soaked. The cover is quite old. I'm not entirely sure how the water gets in when it rains like that, but I mean, with rain of that level, you just sort of expect something to get in. So we put a load of towels down and we got a couple of hours sleep. And then about 2 o'clock in the morning, police sort of drove by, saw the lights flashing, woke me up. I thought, oh, here we go, we're gonna have to go and find somewhere to sleep again now. But they just carried on driving, and maybe just saw the roof tent and assumed we were travellers, or I'm not really sure, but they just left us alone.
We stopped off for breakfast along the Hummingbird Highway and found out that the bar and grill also offered short tours of the cave next door, so we had to say yes. We weren't aware of quite how tight some of the squeezes would be, and I wasn't super keen on the spiders or bats, but we got through unscathed, and it was really cool seeing the amazing limestone formations.
Okay.
And then on the other side we have a floating.
You gotta slither like a snake.
Slowly, yeah, you can still pull yourself a little bit more.
It's very elegant work, this, isn't it? Tomorrow we are going to Marie Sharp's hot sauce factory. All over kind of the food places we've been to here, everyone's got Marie Sharp's. It's kind of the most famous hot sauce.
There's no preservative, no colorings.
Just done a tour of the factory and now we're doing the tasting. A little bit nervous.
Level 3. Okay, it's not too bad.
This is the smoked pepper sauce. Slightly hotter than she said. They smoke it in-house here and it smells incredible. Oh man, very, very good. So we're jumping right up to a 6 out of 6 with the Red Hornet, 20,000 Scovilles. Let's see.
Our charge.
Is that warm?
It's warm. It's nice though.
This one's got the scorpion pepper in it. I get rid of a little bit. Cheers. Yeah, that's warm. We may have gone a bit overboard. We thought they'd make good gifts for people at home. Try and not consume all of them before we get back.
We weren't able to film in the factory because they asked us not to. Didn't want their secrets getting out. Really cool just to hear about the support they're doing for the local community and just kind of the history of the company as well. We're now off to hopefully do a 4x4 track. It has rained a little bit the last couple of days and people on Overland are saying the track sometimes isn't doable when it's been raining. So we'll go and try and see if we can do that now.
We've just come to the little convenience shop at the start of the track to get our permit, but the guy said we don't actually need one anymore, which is cool. We asked how the conditions are because we did see on Overlanders some people had left updates saying that when there's been quite a lot of rain, the river can be quite high and it's a little bit sketchy. But the guy said they haven't actually had much rain here and we should be fine in a Land Rover. So yeah, I think it's only kind of 1 to 2 hours, the track, it's not super long.
Some meat pies. Guy rocked up in a truck and said, do you want any meat pies? And we didn't have much for lunch, so meat pies.
Good?
I love pie. Oh, that's so good.
He said they were juicy, he didn't lie.
Oh man. really are sort of forging our way through this track. Earlier there were tractor tyre marks going through the track, but they sort of stopped quite a while ago. And now all of this grass is so thick, it's just us pushing through it. It feels pretty camel trophy, it's pretty cool. Once we've sort of stopped pushing our way through all of this long grass, and maybe on our way back, I'm going to check the props and the intercooler, because grass, when you go through it, can get caught in the props, and sometimes if it spins at such a high velocity, it can start fires under vehicles. So we do need to make sure that the radiator, the intercooler and the props are all clear of grass when we're finished with the track. This part of the track is slightly more waterlogged, and we are sliding about a little bit here or there, so if it gets any gnarlier we might need a bit of dip lock. Got a little bit hung up on the rear diff there, so I'm going to reverse back and then kind of come up on the side so this big central bit's not dragging on the diff.
We're just having a little walk down the track to check what it's like further on, because it's a little bit sketchy, the bit we've just got to now. It's clear that in wet season it must be like a river going down the track. It's really kind of washed away and there are super deep ruts. We were articulating a lot coming up that last bit, and it's quite soft as well. It's kind of like soft silty mud. So we're just going to have a little check further down, see what it's like. It does look like it might rain as well, which is worrying me slightly. So we're gonna, try and be a little bit speedy about it. What do you think?
I mean, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Yak can do it. Getting down obviously isn't the issue. It's just getting back up that will be the, because this is quite steep. This bit's fine. It's just a little bit rocky and undulated, but it's the bit that's been all washed out by the wet season. It does articulate a lot more, and it's how soft the sand is, whether we'll be able to have traction, because obviously we've got diff lock, but we don't have a front or rear locker. I think we'd be all right, but it's whether it's worth taking the risk. It's starting to drizzle a little bit now as well, and we've heard reports of kind of flash floods, and the last river crossing we did was quite deep. But also the rain we had the other night, if that comes down, we'll have real issues on parts of the track. So just trying to figure out whether it's worth it or not. We've got about 2 kilometres left of the track to go. We'll just have another little look up here and then figure out what we're doing. This bit here would be an aggressive lean as well. That wouldn't feel nice. We're leaning more towards the no side of the equation this time around. It's not too bad, and I do genuinely think we probably would make it, but there are just a couple of sections like this bit here where it's, I don't know if you can tell already, it's quite off camber and also quite steep, which potentially means we could roll. I don't think we would, but I think the worst thing that could happen is we'd spin lots. could potentially snap CVs or half shafts or flanges. Don't really want to be dealing with that here. I wouldn't question it for a second if we had another Land Rover with us or another 4x4, for the sake of potentially being in quite a dangerous situation. Just don't really think it's worth it. We've kind of said this whole time, we love doing tracks, we love sort of getting out there, but if we're on our own, is it really worth it when we've got actually quite a lot of good off-roading back home in the UK? So we're going to leave it for now.
Yeah, I think this was the right decision. I mean, I'm super happy with what we've done of this track so far. It's been incredible, really, really beautiful. We've kind of felt like we're in the middle of nowhere, like David said, kind of forging our way through, which was really cool. Join us next time as we explore Guatemala, spending a bit of time with some other overlanders and heading to the highlands to check out one of Central America's most active volcanoes.